Welcome back to Dista Digital. We talk about today's most modern titles and the classics that inspire them. I'm your host, Brett Clark.
And I'm Matt Keaton. And today, folks, we hit you with some random shit due to our writers taking a long extended vacation to Bermuda.
Exactly. And be sure to stay tuned for our save point this week, where we talk about your comments and answer your questions, all right here on Dista Digital. So, to start off the podcast today, Matt, before we got recording today, Kylie hit me up and she's like, "Oh, my contacts are being all messed up, and I need you to bring me my glasses." I'm like, "Okay." So we postponed recording the podcast, whatever. And so I was just walking out of the store and I was passing the checkout, and I couldn't help myself, Matt. But I picked up 2 packs of Pokemon cards. They're $4, and I thought that's because nothing else has been really happening with my life recently. I haven't been buying any video games. I had a moment of weakness where I was like, oh, you know what? What I really need to do right now is I got money's blowing a hole in my pocket here. I need to spend it on something stupid. So I decided, you know what? I'll spend it on Pokemon cards. So I'm gonna open these up on the podcast here if I can get my clammy, sweaty hands to unopen them, which is a lot harder than I expected. I'm not a professional opener by any stretch of the means, man. Did you ever play Pokemon?
Not the card game, no.
Did you ever play the video game or no?
Yeah. I love Pokemon.
Really?
I love playing the games. That's just it for me. When I was a kid, Pogs were popular, and
What the hell are Pogs?
You don't know what Pogs are?
No, everyone says PogChamps all the time in my chat, and I have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Well, that could be something different, but Pogs were like a little collectible, basically not a card game, but they were like collectible little discs, and it's kind of hard to describe. They had like special designs on them, and they were really fancy, and they would play tabletop games with them, like you flip them on each other and kind of like do some cool moves and stuff like that. It was just like something that was like kind of like coin collecting in a way, but with really fancy designs. And the cooler you were cool if you had like skeletons and crossbones and flames on them and stuff like that.
Oh, the edgy stuff.
Yeah, all the edgy stuff, for sure.
What was your most like badass Pog?
I think
was it one with like a marijuana leaf on it or something?
No. My most badass Pog was probably like a Reaper face, like coming through with like 3D with like a hologram.
Oh, okay. So, they had holographic ones. See, I never got into that.
Yeah.
Like I was like always just, I'm gonna just rip this open. I don't know. I don't care about your people's ears on the podcast. I'm just gonna rip it open. I mean, I used to have like Pokemon cards way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, like I never really collected them. I just got them because like everyone in the daycare that I went to had them. So I was like, whatever. Like I'll just get them, see what the hype's about. And then Yu-Gi-Oh became super popular like a month later. And I like Yu-Gi-Oh way more. And then people who are adults now ruined it for me because people take it way too serious. But look at this guy. This is
drum roll.
Yeah, I don't even know what these guys are.
Squirvit, the overweight squirrel.
Chubby squirrel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what these guys are.
Can't
so it's like,
one. What's that one?
I don't know. See, we're not professionals by any stretch of the means, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like Spinnerack. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If we find... Oh!
Uh-oh.
Crap, this one's really shiny. I don't know what this is.
You got me curious now.
I don't know what this is, dude.
It's hard to see.
It says Scizor VMAX. It's super shiny, though. I have no idea.
Super shiny. Nice.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. See, this is what's really stupid about this. I'm just gonna throw this card over my shoulder and forget about it. I have no idea what this card is, but it's a Pokemon card. I don't know what it is.
I mean, that one's probably gonna go for some money. I mean, online I see eBay, they're going like crazy for like thousands of dollars for rare cards.
Oh, really?
Eric crazy. Has got some rare ones that he's trying to sell.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've seen a couple of people from Best Buy had a couple. Look at this one. Like I told you about the marijuana leaf. Look at that.
You don't want to smoke that one.
No, I don't want to smoke that one. I don't know what the hell this one is.
Trainers?
Nice. Yeah, trainer. I don't know. See, this is the extent of our Pokemon knowledge. This is why I told you that we should just have like a whatever podcast today, because I was just like, I had no idea what to talk about. Power Energy. And then this is called like Toxapex. I have no idea. He looks kind of cool-ish.
That's cool.
If my camera would focus, man. podcast. I'm terribly sorry about this.
Toxapex, yeah,
Hmm.
that's cool.
And this one kind of reminds me of you. I don't know why.
He's very round.
No, it kind of also reminds me of Blathers a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's Senrat. Next week, Matt, you should just buy a pack of baseball cards. Like, buy a $4 pack of baseball cards.
That's what's up.
Yeah, maybe we should try that. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's what we'll do. If you guys like that, let us know. And then we'll spend $3 every other podcast for you guys. We're already spending money. We're already blowing money as is on this podcast because you guys don't support us. But
yeah, that's
there's no monetary investment for you guys as of right now. So just saying, I don't even know what this one is, but it's a shiny. I think it's a reverse hollow is what it's called.
Nice.
Trapinch.
Nice.
But that VMAX card, I was very happy with that. That looks cool. No idea what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably have to send a Snapchat to my buddy or something because they know a little bit more about Pokemon than I do. Mr. JT's Reaper. For those of you who don't listen to the JT's Reaper H2K sports podcast, whatever it was, the sports talk show, I think it's called. He's a buddy of mine. Go check him out. We'll leave a link in the description for it. I'm going to rip this wide open again. You hear that, people? That's the sound of your eardrums getting just ripped in half.
Is this pack number 2?
This is the only other pack I got. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here for hours and force you guys to listen to this. I believe it's 3 to the back. There's like some weird rule where you send like a certain amount of cards to the back. I don't know what the hell this is. Clink.
Nice.
Yeah. Ducklet. Oh, he's kind of cute actually. I totally messed this up because there's a holographic right in the middle again. I totally messed this up. I'm gonna put him to the back so that way it's like exciting for the rest of the people here. Look at this energy. Ooh, energy. This pulp car, whatever the heck it is. Don't know.
Nice.
Just whatever.
You gonna start collecting these now?
Oh yeah. Ooh. Look at her.
There you go.
Look at her.
Breeder's nurturing trainer.
Yeah, I'll breed some nurturing. Look at this. So this is a Fletch, whatever it is, Fletcher or whatever.
Okay.
And then there's a Fletchling.
Fletchling.
Yeah, so I got the evolution of it right before that. That's pretty cool. The Wimapod, whatever that is. I don't know. Pokemon is. They're weird.
That thing's intimidating looking.
Grimer.
There you go. That's more representative of me.
That's me when I see loot in Apex. Just snatching everyone's loot.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I'm like.
That's cool.
Then there's Adritos. I don't know what this is, but I'm just butchering all these Pokemon's name. He's kind of cool, though. I think
is cool.
It's a reverse hollow again, because it's only the rest of the card.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then I got a Heatran hollow. That's actually kind of cool looking. No idea what's going on, but still. But I think out of all these cards, I think this one's the best looking one. No idea what card it is.
That is pretty cool looking, man. You should look that up after the podcast and check that out.
Yeah, maybe I should. But anyways, guys, if you guys know any value of these cards, let me know. And then, if you guys want a card that's not really valuable here or whatever, feel free to reach out to us. I'm pretty sure we can arrange something to get rid of some of these cards, recoup some of the funds from spending $10 on these cards. But whatever, that was a good way to kill 10 minutes. So $10 for 10 minutes, that's not bad.
$10 for 10 minutes of your time.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, honestly, that's how I've always kind of looked at games. Like, if you spend $1 per hour, I think I've talked to you about that, especially on the podcast. I think I've mentioned it once or twice. But for you, Matt, what have you been doing recently? Like, any new exciting things for you that you've been doing as far as gaming or anything?
I don't know if you'd really call them exciting. Just working, coming home, playing some games. The most exciting thing that's happened to me recently is getting the Xbox Series X. I was lucky enough to beat the scalpers, and my wife actually got on the computer and got savvy with it and snapped up an Xbox Series X for us. So nice. We weren't supposed to be getting it until another week from now, but GameStop just sent it out to us. So it just showed up at the door one day. I'm like, whoa! I think I called you on stream.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm like freaking out. So yeah, man, got the Series X up and running. Traded some PlayStation games and flipped them over to the other side, and been enjoying the next generation, man. It's really a step above what I was expecting for sure.
Mm. Yeah. What is your probably most played game on your Xbox Series X right now?
Most played game is probably gonna be um Valhalla and Warzone, like 50-50.
Okay.
So Assassin's Creed Valhalla is definitely much better because I've played it on PlayStation and I've seen it on PC. I think it's very much it's a very good experience on Series X. It's like it performs better, it's smoother, it runs at a 60 frames per second clip, and
Mm.
it's pretty stable. And if for folks at home, like if you have just a 60 hertz TV and you're used to like the Assassin's Creed series, they've never had them at 60 frames per second movement. So when you start playing with the character and your movements become just so fluid like a mouse and keyboard, it's kind of like eye opening, and like it's kind of like a shock, and it's
Mm.
just like you feel like a kid at Christmas when you get to play at that crisp refresh rate, and everything going on is just so smooth, and it feels like that's how it was really meant to be played. So it's
Mm.
definitely a step up, man. The graphics capabilities, the Xbox Series X, man, it is so quiet. You don't even hear it. You don't feel the heat from it. You don't. It's just like there's no problems with it for me so far. The audio quality is 100% better than most consoles, and connecting with your friends is so easy, intuitive. So
Mm.
yeah, the Series X is really kind of beating my expectations. Honestly, I don't know if the PlayStation 5 would have done that or not, but the Series X definitely beats my expectations.
Well, we won't know for a while because we will never get our hands on one of these. I tried again buying one of these PlayStation unobtainables,
Mm-hmm.
and my buddy, I have a couple buddies that are like, Brett, buy it right now. That's at this website, and I've got the luxury at work being in front of a computer. I literally have like all these websites already signed in and stuff like that. Go to it, and of course, everything's crashing. It's like, oh, you can't add this
Yep.
$900 bundle to cart because we don't want you to have to buy this whole entire bundle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, great, thanks. Why would you even put that on your website then? Let me buy 2 additional controllers and 5 games with this PlayStation 5. I don't care. I'll buy it for $900. I'm getting all this extra stuff with it. Like, I'm not gonna buy it for $900 by itself from some scalper. I'll buy it from a legitimate vendor, you know.
Yeah.
But crazy, crazy,
Well,
crazy,
the
crazy.
thing of it in the news too is that now the reason why it's still being bought up so much is because there's been a leak in the news that there's a shortage of console parts coming from overseas. They're unattainable now, especially with COVID like going rampant everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the PlayStation and Xbox, the consoles, there's definitely going to be a like hitting the brakes and a stoppage of new consoles coming out now, because as now that they're nearing the end of their first batch of release consoles, they're just petering out what they have left. There's going to be a shortage for, I'm guessing, if I had to bet on it, probably a good part of the year until later on towards the fall, when more games and the hype gets driven up and up and up, which is also going to help them too with sales and expectations and everything as well being so high that the games are going to be coming out. So what I've seen is just everyone freaking out now that the consoles are going to stop being produced now for a while until those parts become available. And so now the scalpers are even more going to hit they've hit it hard from the beginning, middle, and they're going to hit the end of that first wave hard. And those consoles are just going to sit, and I hope they do, because nobody in their right mind should spend that much money, even if you have it, even if you have a disposable income. You should never support people that just take a product, charge 3 times the price, not working for that money, just flipping it like that, and then going, oh, I'm gonna sell this thing for $2,000 because some dummy's gonna buy it. And it's really upsetting for people. I do understand. And I'm lucky enough to have been still waiting for a PS5, but able to get the Series X and to kind of get a glimpse of the next generation spectrum. And the Xbox side is, you can't speak to it the same because it's different. So the Xbox really doesn't perform that well on the older games unless they've been enhanced for the next generation. For instance, I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5 that I already had previously with my old Xbox account, and I booted it up, and it's at 30 frames per second. I mean,
Yeah.
the next gen version of the game, which is not out yet, maybe will be, but this was just terrible. You could definitely tell the game's aged, and it doesn't run well. So there's a lot of games like that you go back and play, and they just play the standard game how it was meant to be played. And the whole backlog of games is not like 4K capable. They basically take the game in its native state and just put it on screen for you to play, honestly. But there are some titles that are like cross compatible and they're free upgrade. The free upgrade thing is atrocious. It's terrible. It's very misleading, and I had to actually buy the next gen version of some of the games, save for like Madden NFL. Madden NFL was a free upgrade to the next gen. Call of Duty claimed they were a free upgrade, but they weren't. You still had to buy the next gen. And so you could play the old gen and it would be slightly better frame rate, but like for instance Cold War, and I didn't realize this, I bought the next gen version because I saw online, thankfully, that you had the Xbox One version wouldn't play well. Like it was a terrible port. So I figured forget it. So I buy the next gen version, and that was even buggy too. So that was definitely a mess. It hasn't been all like smiles and butterflies and rainbows with the new consoles. They're still getting a lot of things ironed out, and from what I'm seeing on the PlayStation side, it's just as terrible too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the games aside, the performance and the value and the speed and efficiency of the console, not to mention the quietness, is very welcome here for sure. So,
yeah, for me, that's one of the things where like not spending, any money on games and stuff like that. It's been really good for me because I saving a lot of money. And honestly, with the PlayStation 4, I don't even know what game I'd really buy. I just have it so that when a game does come out, I can get it. Final Fantasy 16, most likely. But in reality, like I've come to realize that I've got so many games in the backlog that is just money that I am losing because that's a game I've never played or never really gotten its value out of.
yeah.
And I mean, if I was to get another console, that's an additional backlog of games, and it grows and grows, and we all know how our backlogs get. So for me, I've just gotten kind of lucky that I haven't increased my backlog too much because of buying a new console. But what about you? I mean, it was good for you because you were able to just kind of transfer your backlog to the next gen console. But how is your backlog coming? Is it getting bigger, or are you actually grinding through it?
Ever growing.
Yeah.
There isn't a new game on the horizon that's like got me super excited for until possibly the end of the year. But again, I don't know when the new games are coming out. You've got like rumors of like Days Gone 2, but there's no production news or notifications on it. And you've got like, I think the Mass Effect remastering is coming out, I think next month or the month after. It's like March or April or something like that. I think, I don't know. But that's probably going to be the game that's going to tide me over. And then that's a backlog in itself because that's 3 games that are remastered that are from the old generation, making them new again.
Run it.
So,
no.
Not feeling the Mass Effect love? No,
No,
you've never even
I'm
played
just
them,
saying,
right?
I'm just saying that I've played it before, so I think that
Okay.
I know what path I'm going to pick. I forget what game it was. There's a game where it was like you had to choose your own decisions, and Kylie's sitting there going, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I was just clicking my option right away. Like I was just whatever my instinct was, but Kylie was actually like sitting there and analyzing like what could go wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here to like, yeah, let's just blow everybody up. Yeah, whatever. Like sort of thing. So
that's basically Mass Effect as well.
Yeah, Mass Effect, you can blow everybody up or save everybody, and you just have to say the right options more or less. And
yeah, well, there's different paths. You can be a nice guy, you can be a douchebag, you can be whatever you want to be, and that's up to you. You can let people die, or you can realize that if you do that, then there's consequences. And I love games like that for sure. That they need to bring that back. But backlog, man, a PlayStation's kind of lonely right now, and my PC games are getting backlogged and lonely as well, man. It's tough. It's tough. Too much choice, not enough action, not enough time in the day. and the games just back up and back up. I still want to play games like Deus Ex. I want to finish the Deus Ex series up, and like Dishonored 2. I haven't touched Dishonored 2. I still have it. I got that statue and everything and the special edition of it. Still haven't even booted up the game, man. What else have I got? What else have I got on my backlog? I haven't finished God of War for the PlayStation 4.
I finished God of War, and I hated it. So you got to finish it. You are now obligated to finish God of War.
We could do an episode on that too, man.
Yeah.
Revisit
Oh
it.
my gosh. So I don't actually hate God of War. I just say I do because it really triggers a buddy of mine who that's his favorite game of like the last decade.
Oh, okay.
And I just tell him all the things that's wrong with the game. And he's like, stop it. Because he told me he was just ripping on Nier Automata. And I'm like, I'm ripping on God of War. He's like, well, my game's better. And I'm like, yeah, it's better. But you can't ignore its flaws. Like, just like every game, got to acknowledge its flaws.
We should compile a list of games that we've beaten, separate, just to see how many. Like going back to maybe we'll just pick a starting point, and then we'll just name off games. Maybe the current gen, like the PS4 era, and then just go down. Maybe just do console games because you'll win hands down on PC. Because I don't know if you play many story games on PC.
I don't know. I don't know if I do really. But here's the thing. You should start from January to the end of the year. You should write down all the games you beat. Because I've already got 2 games on you this year. I got Horizon Zero Dawn and I got Bloodborne.
Okay.
I already got the list. I got the list. So for those of you in the podcast, I got this whiteboard back here. And it has the games that Kylie beat. And it has the games that I beat and the games we beat together. So technically, I also beat Hotline Miami 3. Or Hotline Miami 2.
Nice.
So that's 3 games this year.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Get on my level, boy.
Challenge accepted. We'll see how many at the end of the year that we both can digest. The bigger games, though. They can't be like weenie, 5-minute games, 5-minute stories.
Any game counts, Matt. Any game counts.
Okay.
Any game that you beat can go on the list.
Okay. I'm feeling you. I feel you on that one.
Yeah, that it is a thing. And if you guys leave a comment down below, let us know if you want to have us put like a live Excel sheet where you guys can see, and that way you guys can place your bets. I'd love to see that. Have some bets on there. There's no rigging in this thing. So if a majority of you vote for Matt, I'm not going to just spontaneously throw, I mean, there's no rigging this race. But no, I think that'd be kind of fun. Maybe not a friendly competition is the way to say it, but it'd be interesting to see, what games we beat, what games we took time to play. Like Bloodborne, I'm going through a second playthrough right now.
Nice.
So I don't know if I can count it as being it twice. I get the true ending this time, but still. I got a Warzone victory. We got a Warzone victory recently. I don't know if that counts as beating the game.
I mean, it technically does. I mean,
yeah,
you hurt your back on that one, carrying us with 12 kills, man. That was incredible.
We don't have to talk about that too much, but I mean, that is one thing I will say. With multiplayer games, do you ever really beat them? No, but Warzone and Apex, if you win a game, your one game, does that really mean you beat it? You've done it. You've done the hurrah, because I had a buddy who played PUBG and he never won a game for a year. And then I'm like, come play with us. And the first 3 games he played with us, we won. And he's like, this just feels stupid. He's like, I felt like I wasted a year of my life. I'm like, wow, what happened? And he's like, well, I just would die right away. I'm like, oh, well, welcome to the world of chicken dinners, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know if those really count. I feel like they don't, because I feel like you should just eat. I always win. So there's no there's no point to not play it. But I mean, as your backlog goes further and further and it gets further and further, is there ever a point where you drop a game? You're just that game's not even worth me playing anymore?
I don't know if I drop them. I just kind of try to put together a plan of attack, and it just never really comes to fruition.
Put them further on the
Every
backlog.
Every time I never fail. I start a game, and then all of a sudden some game comes out of left field hey, remember this guy? Whoop, there it is. And then oh crap, okay, well nah, I gotta have it, must get it,
Yeah.
And then you buy it and you start playing it and you're you see the game sitting there all sad, pouting and play me, and then you're no, this new game's better. So yeah, no, it happens all the time, man. I start a game, I get the majority of the way through it, and only a very few handful of games do I really just beat or platinum or go for the clear rate. Um, I think for Modern Warfare though, if you 100% achieve or trophy platinum whatever the game, I think that's beating it with the story when it comes to it. But for multiplayer, I don't think you ever really finish a game unless you actually just tuck it on your backlog and just say, you know what, I'm done. Or for whatever reason, if you're dissatisfied with it, or if you're just tired of the crap online and tired of dealing with people, or if, for instance, Warzone's getting really stale, and people are getting upset, and there's a new map dropping in a few weeks, hopefully stays on schedule, that hopefully will change that. But things like that are just stale and rote after a while, and the only reason I really jump online is to play with everyone and have a good time. So I'm not really worried about progressing and grinding and all that other stuff. And being
would you ever play Fortnite?
Just gotta have a good time.
Yeah. Would you ever play Fortnite, Matt?
I feel like I could be persuaded to play Fortnite. But when it comes to like building ramps to protect yourself, I probably would suck horribly with that.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to get into Fortnite. The main reason I want to play Fortnite is because my dad, or I want to get my dad over to. I don't actually want to get my dad over to Warzone. I don't want him to experience hackers, because I feel like Fortnite doesn't really have hackers anymore, because it's kind of, Also, his skill-based matchmaking, like he is definitely not. He is definitely not an above-average player. No offense, Dad, but like skill-based matchmaking side of things, like he's in a pretty good pool where he won't run into hackers.
Yeah.
But I've been tempted to play Fortnite just for that reason, just to kind of play something with my dad, or No Man's Sky or something like that. There's something where it's like, no offense, I love you guys all. Like I love playing with my friends, but like there was a little while where I was playing Fortnite with my dad, and I would take my Xbox over to Kylie's, and I'd play it. And there's just something about it. There's just something about playing it with him where it's just like, this is his game. I'm stepping into his territory, and this is something that he knows more about a game than I do. And I really like that. And, I've been trying to get him into a different game. If I really feel like I need to buy him No Man's Sky at some point, for him to experience it, but then that goes onto my backlog. Then I have to figure out, because one day he's gonna ask me like, what happens if I go to this planet and I find this thing? I'll be like, I guess I gotta find out. Like, so then that game becomes something I need to be somewhat knowledgeable about,
Yeah.
And then I end up telling you, hey Matt, get this game, and then you play it, and then we play it for like a month straight, and then we put it on our backlogs, and then don't touch it for like another like half a year.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to blame you, but it is your fault. The reason my backlog is so backed up.
I know, I'm the worst friend for that. I actually, like Ricky, for instance, our buddy Ricky, I got Ricky into Bloodborne, and Ricky just beat like the 4th boss in the game. I left him in the dirt. I beat 3 bosses with him 3 nights in a row, and then just left him in the dirt and just beat the entire game like the next day. Just left him in the dirt. I feel a little bad about it. I'm probably, you know what? I'm going to hit him up tomorrow. Not tonight, tomorrow. See. Put him on my backlog a little bit, and I'll help him through it.
Well, talking about No Man's Sky too,
Yeah.
The cool thing is if your dad asks you, what do I do when I get to Planet Z? Say, hey Dad, it's procedural based game. I can't go to the same place you are unless they've changed it. I don't know, but I remember the game when I booted that up, man. I loved it because it was the premise of the procedurally generated planets are all randomized, and no player is gonna get to the same planet in a single player phase. No 2 planets are going to be the same. No players are going to be able to like go find each other. And then I have no clue what they've done with it since, so I could be talking out of my butt when it comes to that now. But the appealing part of No Man's Sky for sure was just like going out and exploring space, and then just learning the controls, which are super easy to learn. And the game was really fun for me. And then something else came along. I can't remember what it was, and then I was like, oh, go to the backlog, and it ended up getting traded in. So.
Yeah. A game that I feel like is really put on my backlog as of recently, and is a game that I really wish it hadn't, is PUBG. Like I'd gotten into PUBG for like a hot minute, and then all of a sudden just right back to the backlog. And the worst part about it was I spent money on skins. I was like, oh, I'll put $20 into skins, get some good skins. oh, what, we're done playing this game? Like, what, now we're putting it on the backlog. Oh, Apex released a new map. Now we're playing Apex. I'm like, oh great. Oh, I'm not buying any skins on Apex. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I found out the second that I spend money on a game, my friend group's done playing it. You know, so I mean, if you guys ever played CS:GO, we would be kings of skins, man. I got so many skins. I could distribute a whole esports team worth of skins, man. I got plenty. I got so many AK red lines with foils on them. Ah, it's ridiculous. I got enough knives to equip half a squad with. Like, it's ridiculous. But no one ever wants to play CS:GO. No one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
it's a backlog game.
I'm always down, but trying to find other people who want to still play it.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. That's the one thing about like dying quote unquote games, I feel, is that it's hard to find a group of people who want to play a dying game with you. Like Destiny 2, for instance. Like, it's a fun game, but I feel like in order to really have fun with it, you need to have people who are around your same experience, your same level. Because once you get that buddy who's got like, I'm just using an example, like the holy hand grenade of Antioch, Monty Python Holy Grail reference. He's just running around with that and killing everything. I mean, it's no fun. You know, you're a level 1 guy who's got like a pistol, and this guy's just blowing up everything with like a grenade made from God. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, they've done a lot to refresh Destiny 2, though. Yeah. I mean, I just booted it up because someone else had it that I wanted to play with. And I played through the beginning of the campaign, and I'm like, oh man, this is so familiar.
The crawl in the beginning.
Yeah, the crawl to get to the hub world. Yeah. And yeah, no, it's I've seen a lot of stuff that they've added to it. It's really come a long way. But really, it's just all about like doing scrims and playing competitive and trying to like get together and like run the Crucible, do these things together, PvE, PvP. There's a lot of options, but I feel like, yeah, they have done a great job with like a higher level player coming in with a low level player. So actually what they've done is they've changed the technology where, say, level whatever 100 person and a level 2 person gets into a match, the damage that you deal goes solely based off of your character's damage towards the enemies and also coming in at you. So literally, if like a sniper shot from an enemy comes at you at the level 100 player, he dodges and it hits the level 2 player, it's only going to count that low level character, and it's only going to barely affect them. So they've really done a really good dynamic of blending players together where no one is really overpowered versus another person, unless you go PvP. PvP, all bets are off, and then that's just like a shit show. But yeah, for like PvE, everyone can play together, and like those special like raids, for instance, it's not all leveled based on one person. It's a variable raid. So like you can go in with people and not get your butt handed to you if you're paying attention to what you're doing. I'm looking forward to doing that, but I do feel like it's a dying game as well. Even though they've tried to pump life back into it, they really just need to honestly come out with another one where they just rework everything and make what it was supposed to. Kind of like how Anthem failed miserably and was fun for a hot minute on launch night, and then just I haven't played it since.
Yeah, I think the thing that with like Destiny's a really good game, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think the issue that I have with it is that the way that it's designed and the way that it looks, it's very similar to a hub world MMO style, you know, and people look at it as, you know, as a first person shooter, and you've got raid mechanics, you've got MMO mechanics where you've got to do the same level over and over and over to get good gear. And it can be very similarly said to Borderlands, where Borderlands is kind of the same way. It's a RPG with guns, you know. I think the difference is that Borderland has so much more content than Destiny out of the box. So much more content. Firstly, you have an entirely separate class. So Destiny only has 3 classes. You have 4 classes in Borderlands. Each of them have a subcategory. Destiny, you get 3 subcategories, whatever per character, whatever. Don't really matter. Skill tree is much bigger on Borderlands. But the world and the side missions, the guns themselves, you know, there's much more in Borderlands, which I think Borderlands is more of a compelling game to play, even though I've always called Borderlands 3 boring lands. It was an okay game. It was an okay game, you know, which is a real shame. Me and Kylie beat it together. I really love the Borderlands series, but I really loved like the non-popular Borderlands games, like Borderlands 1 and the the pre-sequel, which a lot of people didn't love. People love Borderlands 2. Wasn't a huge fan of Borderlands 2 until they dropped the DLC characters. I was not. I played Zero. Ha 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 ha! I'm a ghost amongst the pasture. Ha ha ha! I didn't need to hear that 50 times every time I use my alt. So, dude, that is legit how he sounds. Ha 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 ha! That's legit how he sounds, man. And it's just like, what, dude? Who are you bragging to? You're invisible. You're running away like a little bitch. Why are you bragging, dude? But no, I mean, honestly, I think at the end of the day, like, our backlogs keep on getting bigger and bigger. And I'm just waiting to find like a DayZ or something that makes me spend hundreds and hundreds of hours into it that isn't Call of Duty or Apex Legends, you know? And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for it, you know? At the end of the day, it's tough, you know? And I think especially with like today where we're just talking about random stuff, like, you know, I'm not compelled by any of the games that are coming out right now to buy them because there really isn't a game that I'm really seeking right now. Like, there isn't really like a game that's like, this will fill your need to ever buy a game again sort of feeling. But what's nice about that is with Humble Bundle, I still get new games, you know, so I can still play some different games, try out some different games, but it's not like me spending $60 on buying a game that I need to know going in that I'm going to like. Otherwise, it's a waste of $60. You get a bunch of games with Humble Bundle every single month. I'm just saying, I haven't actually uploaded Humble Bundle to my Steam account last month or two. So when you go to check Steam probably later this week, you'll be like, whoa, where'd all these games come from? That's why. It's because I'm probably dumping those in. Yeah. That's the great thing about sharing an account is that you get those games too. Or the family thing. I think Steam Family is perfect because, like, me and Matt are practically family, like, you know, and Kylie and I obviously are a family. So it's like, it just works out that way. I can share it with two people, you know?
Yeah.
So I think so. Do you have anything else to say, Matt, before we get into the save point though?
No, I mean, you know, I think we're ready. I think we're doing a pretty bang up job considering our writers didn't invite us and just decided, hey, we're going to take a vacation.
Yeah, well, we had to pay him somehow, you know?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, I think it's time for the save point.
Yeah, so we gotta rewrite that contract because we gave him a week off. We shouldn't have given him. I think the new rule for interns is you can't have a week of paid vacation. It has to be like a week, but it has to be broken up. So it could be like 3 and 4, you know? I think we got to work out that contract with our interns. Anyways, Matt, they did do us the courtesy of telling us that people did comment this week on some of our
That's nice
videos.
of them. A little heads up is nice. Always nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got 2 comments this week. First one is from Jesse on one of our YouTube videos. I think it was the Ice to See You episode. It says, play Apex Legends.
I'm already on that. I'm already on it.
Yeah, I think we need to incorporate your persona as well, so that way they kind of like blend them together, so people can kind of follow you on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
With your not alter ego, but just your personality, so that people can see you play as well.
Yeah,
and,
I
I definitely
like,
have to get back on the grind of streaming and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if y'all are done with that whole trying to become Apex Predator and want to let this little scrub noob join you, I'll hop on some Apex.
I'll let you. We'll play tonight. Okay. I almost called you guys streams. Your podcast, fans, people, friends, family, acquaintances, whatever you want to be called. We have a buddy in our group of people who I play Apex with who wants to become an Apex Predator, which is, it sounds wrong. Predator sounds very wrong. Apex Predator is like top 500 players in the world or whatever. Now, let me tell you something. I don't think I could get there if I played with Shroud and Dizzy. So I don't know where he got in his mind that without those two, 3 average Joe Schmoes are going to get to Apex Predator. I don't know where he got this wicked idea, but he's really gung-ho about it. I'm not a wet blanket. I'll give it a shot, but I have my doubts, but we'll see. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go to twitch.tv/Lactide, and you guys can check me out on there. You can also watch Matt on our Facebook channel, if he decides to play on there for more than 5 minutes.
If I can get my stream running good, we'll be golden.
If anyone has any advice on how to help Matt with Facebook streaming, please feel free to leave us a message or pop into the stream when it's up and running and give him some advice. I mean, I've got a lot of experience with Twitch, but Facebook is kind of a different beast. I don't really know how things go to Facebook, really. I mean, you can do Streamlabs and stuff like that, but I don't know how Facebook works for like integrating like alerts and stuff like that. And I really don't want to learn because I already have enough in my brain stored up from all these other streaming services. So it's kind of tough sometimes. You know, it's sometimes tough being so knowledgeable and so handsome all the time, you know.
I mean, it must be extremely hard to deal with that.
It must be. I wouldn't know because that's you, man. You're the handsome and talented one.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So Sir Solna, thank you, Sir Solna. Appreciate you. So he commented on our video as well. He states, when you are playing games, working, or spending time with people you care about, your priorities may change, but you always allot time to what you care about. Work can get hectic to anyone, but having good friends and coworkers can make stress levels go down, and help to rejuvenate your spirits. I can attest to that, amen. Sometimes you have a workplace get too political and drive you nuts, but having a way to relax and take a load off is best. That's why I'm happy to have a supportive wife and friends who are always there for me. P.S. If you want a subject matter expert for health and weight issues, I'll guest appear for that. Smiley face, grin. Well, do appreciate you as always, Sir Solna. Yeah, I mean, we could do an episode of maybe some fitness tracking here for old McKeaton and get him on the wagon again for sure, man. I'd love to have you on and
little swole, get swole on the podcast here. Yeah, thank you, Sir Solna, and thank you, Jesse. Also, I don't know if I actually thanked you for the comments, but I think that would be something interesting, Matt. He brings up a valid point there. Health and not the weight issue, but the health contest. You know that ring thing that you were telling me about for your Switch?
Ring Fit.
Little contest. Let us know in the comments if you think we should have a contest for that. I don't know how we would accurately have that be a contest though. Maybe we just have who is funnier and who has the better results. We'll have 2 separate categories. All right.
Oh, if you okay, so I mean, you by all stretch, dude, I gotta take the cake on that one. You're gonna find my videos of it if I decide to do it. If I have the guts, much more funny than you doing it because
no.
I know workout routines and everything, and I go way too hard, way too fast, and burn out too quick. No,
see, I think that would be part of the fun. We get the outfits, we get the sweatbands. I will make a work expense for this game. I will justify my rule of not buying new games, call it a work expense for the podcast in my mind, and I will dedicate to getting this COVID body taken care of. Although I have been working pretty hard on my pecs recently.
You gonna do the Terry Crews where you bounce your pecs around?
Dude, I don't know if I ever would gain that ability if I would use it. That is like, you know, it's like, I don't know if that's like an unspoken gentleman's rule that if you do that you're like flipping him the bird. I don't know if that's like a rule. Like if you go haha to a guy like really quick, like if that's like flipping him the bird, you know.
I can't even. Oh man.
Imagine, Matt. Like I just like you look at my stream and I'm just like you know like you know like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like when he does it all the time, he's just like and he just like it's popping.
Oh, where he flexes and then like does the flexed forward and then pecs jiggle. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I wish what I could do is like David Hasselhoff in the not the Superman, the SpongeBob movie where it goes. You could just like crush something between them.
I thought you were gonna say Baywatch. I thought you were gonna do a way throwback there on that one.
No. I never watched Baywatch. I was a good boy growing up.
Oh, I wasn't. I watched Baywatch as a kid.
Yeah. No, but
I watched it for the ocean and the sand, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yes, totally.
I know, I'm full of shit. You can tell me.
Yeah, you're full of shit. But no, I 100% agree with Sir Sona. By the way, fellow Twitch streamer, you should check him out at twitch.tv/Sir Sona. He hasn't told me when he's streaming yet, so I can't tell you guys, but we appreciate having you as part of the community. He's a great guy. We play with him from time to time as well. You might see him as a guest on our streams. So feel free to shoot him some love, because he has shot us plenty of love, and we do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But I can't say that I have a supportive wife yet, or a supportive kid, ever. But I do agree. Having friends and coworkers that are supportive really does make the day go by a lot faster. And especially when your coworkers that you have now are your friends in the future. Like Matt and I used to be coworkers. Me and my buddy Snell, JT's Reaper, used to be coworkers in Reeves, who we played against in the UGC. All of us were at one point employees of Best Buy, and a lot of my former coworkers are now still my friends, because we all have a common interest of video games. We all love it, and we're all cool people. So 100% agree with that. And I also think that, gaming as far as a priority goes, like, it's Kylie works and closes, certain days of the week. And I make sure that, on days like we have off together, I try my best to make sure that we don't have anything. We do something together, And I feel like as of recently, like, I've been playing more and more games because she works so much, and that's something where video games have helped me there, where it's like, well, what would I do otherwise when she's gone? I'm not there to hang out with her, But at the same time, she comes home super late at night, and I'm still playing with my friends, and it's a tough balance sometimes to balance it, I guess is what I'm saying. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do a very good job of it, but
I try.
Yeah, but you also got some metal on it, so helps you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. My wife loves playing video games, although I can't for the life of me get her to change off of Animal Crossing. I think it's gonna take a big an anchor. But no, she where she's actually gonna be getting on Friday I'm thinking of it, Super Mario, the Switch version, 3D.
Oh, the 3-pack, the 3D All Stars.
Yeah, with like the one that's got Bowser and all them in it, and it's like I can't remember what it is. The Super Mario 3D World with like 3 games in it. Yeah. So that'll keep her preoccupied. She's got the old one too. But yeah, no, I have a great supportive wife. I love her to death, and she's supportive of me in every aspect of life, not just gaming. And so that makes it easy to come home to somebody who's already actively gaming, and you can kind of you feel that lighthearted mood in the environment, and it just makes you feel a lot better about yourself, about life. Maybe you've had a crappy day at work. You come home, and your wife is just like so happy to see you, and there's games going, and it's a really nice experience. And it helps too, working with people at work as well, in the workplace, who have fellow interests and love doing what you do, and you can make friends outside of work and make it work, and that helps as well. And I've met some great people along the way. Not all of them are with me, but the ones who have stayed around have been the ones who've been worth it the most. And like you said with us, getting back together, getting the band back together, just not Overwatch anymore.
Yeah, no. And I feel I feel like as you get older, I was talking about that. We're wrapping up with today's save point here and kind of coming into our closing thoughts. I mean, the reason why we normally have a topic that we pick out, and I was just, me and Matt, our writers, really slacked this week, didn't give us a topic to talk about, so we're really upset about that. Not really. You guys deserve a break. But I was telling Matt a couple weeks ago, it's good to have the group. It's good to have everyone playing again, because I came to the realization that person A wasn't going to talk to person B unless I threw an event and then they talk to each other, And sometimes that's kind of the unfortunate side of it, is that, for instance, George, we'll use George as a prime example. George will play with anybody, but sometimes other people don't think, oh, George plays this game, we'll invite George. I always am like, hey, we can grab George, and it's kind of weird because it's like we're all friends, but sometimes people don't make the connection that I'm friends with this person unless I'm there. It's kind of weird sometimes. And that's kind of been the same with gaming, where it's I don't really get to play with some of the people like TJ and X anymore, but we're still friends. It's the second we pop into a party, it's nothing's gone, nothing's changed, Yeah. And I think that that's the nice thing about games versus real life, is that unlike friends that you've had in real life where people change, I think gamers, I don't really think gamers change all that much in the game. In real life, right. Yeah, sometimes they can be like an asshole, but I feel for the most part, when you're playing a game with somebody, you can still go back to those good times and still enjoy playing with them no matter who it is, because there's a reason why you guys, played games together in the first place. It's because you guys had a good time together, so you can always have a good time with that person again, unless they like slept with your sister or something, and then you're just very, very salty towards that situation. Never happened to me. I'm just saying that, there are exceptions to my rule is what I'm trying to say.
Cue the banjo sound effect.
But I don't know. Hopefully the editors didn't take a break this week. So
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if they did. I don't know. We gotta stop outsourcing so many people here.
I mean, dude. When you blow up like this and you have fans and you have that demanding notion, you need to put out your best. And when you hire these rookies and they just decide, a couple months on the job, they want a vacation, and they were just getting on my nerves. We just had to get rid of them, get them out the door, right?
Yeah. There was a disconnect. Yeah, cue the laugh track there. I think looking forward to this year. 2020 was such a horrible year, Mm-hmm. For gaming, not so bad for me. I got a lot of games beat, but I think looking forward for this year, I definitely am going to enjoy, playing games with my friends again. I really didn't get to play that many games with my friends as much as I wanted to last year. There was times where it's I would go AFK or away from the keyboard for weeks and barely play with people, and that was one of my buddy Snell's bringing up. He's like, it's when you're not feeling great, he's like, you don't play any games. He's like, we barely see you. We barely hear from you. And I'm like, yeah. And that's just me, I guess. And that was kind of the same thing that happened to us. And then I just hit you up out of the blue and we started this and then got pretty consistent with it. And it's since then done a lot better job staying in touch with everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm a horrible person, I guess is what I'm trying to say. No, I'm kidding.
Nah. For our disconnect, it was more me just getting accustomed to married life and not being on the scene of games, and then really not being available, just putting work first. And my time at PetSmart, man, I loved it, but I put so much into that. That's really where the 2 years went, just the disconnect. Mm-hmm. And the extremely long nights, going in at 4 a.m. in the morning, and back and forth, and just you work yourself to death for a job thinking it's going to pay off, and it doesn't. And so that's where the disconnect came. But and we got back together, started something new, and been running with it ever since. Episode number 23, man. Think about that.
23 weeks. 23 weeks, man. What do you got? What are you looking forward to this year, Matt? Closing thoughts.
Man, for games, looking forward to, obviously I said before, Mass Effect Remastered. I'm actually looking forward to the most single player wise, for a game that maybe I'm a closed closet genre on this, but the WWE 2K series took a break last year, and I'm a deep hardcore wrestling fan, always have been, and they took a year off due to their 2K20 disaster in 2019. And they've put out the WWE All Stars or something like that, which is kind of cool looking. It's not All Stars, it's Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is what it's called, which is a really cool game. Just it's not the same. It's not simulation wrestling. And for 2K21, or 2K22 now, I'm hoping they come out this year. This is the first time they separated from their longtime developer Yuke's. And so with 2K, there was this huge dispute between them and the developer Yuke's, where Yuke's didn't want to work with them anymore. And that's why 2K20 was such a bad game, was because they pulled the developer out early in the development, and the game just really showed that it was half-assed. And so going forward, I hope that 2K, they put the polish that they have for the old hockey series and for NBA 2K. I really hope that 2K really just overhauls it and puts so much polish in and finesse and just makes it a really standout game. That one I think I'm looking forward to the most, man. I'm not really wanting another Call of Duty this year, to be honest. I'm so tired of Call of Duty and the annual trend of Madden every year. Although I will say, this Madden generation, speaking to the Xbox Series X, the Madden 21 is a completely different game on console on the Series X. A completely different game.
Really?
I won't talk too much else about it. Just go check it out if you can. Get the free upgrade. The game is fantastic. It's a completely different experience on the next generation consoles, both Xbox Series X and PS5. And so for me, I think maybe I'm looking forward to also the most, which is right around the corner. And I spoke on last episode about it, but MLB The Show for the first time is coming to the Series X, to Xbox brand. And I'm really looking forward to that sports game first and foremost. That's the next big game that's coming out for me. I'm looking forward to do some more roster editing as well and share that with the fans and just kind of like show you what I do and how deeply involved what I've done has helped Sony also progress, do what they do as well. And so, yeah, that's it in a nutshell, man. Not much going on this year that I can see. I think a lot of things are delayed due to COVID. And I don't know what's all coming out. I'm looking forward to a lot of movies too, man. But again, everything's being delayed. I was looking forward to like Fast and Furious wrapping up, hopefully, finally putting the saga to bed.
Yeah.
Which you've seen so many trailers on it now, and then it's coming out. The James Bond film, which is supposed to be Daniel Craig's last film, is supposed to be coming out, and it got delayed. So
did you see him in Knives Out?
Oh, Knives Out is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Loved it.
I loved it.
What are you looking forward to, man?
I think just playing with a bunch of friends, grinding through the backlog, and honestly, saving a bunch of money by not buying games. Me and Kylie are right now kind of just saving a bunch of money. We've got future plans that not quite yet ready to share with the world of the podcast yet, just because I don't want to say I'm going to do this and then a month later be like, yeah, like the market's not right to buy right now or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say, like, I'm not going to be buying a house like this year, but like saving up for it,
Yeah.
Patience. I want a house, I want to do a lot of stuff, but it takes time. It takes time to save money,
It takes time, yep.
Yeah. Especially with all the bills for the podcast. I'm not kidding. It's fine. There's not that many bills we have for the podcast. We enjoy doing it. So it's a great stress reliever, and it's really nice to have this. And I really look forward to continuing to do the podcast because, for one, like, I just enjoy doing it with you, obviously. And two, because like we get to do a lot of cool stuff with other people. And I'm hoping that this year is the year of us expanding a little bit, growing a little bit more. We've got, 23 episodes under our belt, 23 weeks of doing this. We've gotten a little growth. And we have to figure out now what the next step is. We can't stay stagnant. We got to start striving for betterness. And right. I think that it's a year that we start collabing with other people and doing projects and getting, bigger on our YouTube, posting some more stuff and expanding out a little bit more. And that's kind of what I look forward to the most, is the potential growth of, we can do this with the podcast, And that's just me. I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I look forward to the rest of this year as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Big things in store, for sure. I will also say I look forward to this Pokemon collection growing. Nice. I was wondering what you were futzing with.
Yeah, dude. I had to put the Pokemon cards in there.
Nice.
Yeah, so, Matt, if you go to Target and you buy a binder and open up a pack of baseball cards or something, or whatever cards you want to open every week, I mean, I'd be down to alternate weeks. I don't know if you want to. That'd be just something different for the podcast. I don't know.
All right.
Look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy right there. Oh. But yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, let us know if you like that or not. I mean, we can definitely do something different. If there's a different card game that you'd rather see, something that's not very popular, let us know. Something that doesn't cost so much money. That'd be great. So, I do not want to hear Magic the Gathering. The first person to recommend Magic the Gathering will be permabanned. I'm kidding. No, they won't be permabanned. But I've looked around like high and low for like what's the best card game to collect, or what's like the most fun card game to like look at with their art. Magic the Gathering. I'm like, shut up. I'm not a nerd. I am, but not that big of a nerd. You know.
I mean, I've been wanting to collect for sure. So I have a baseball card collection, but it's the early '90s of baseball, late '80s, early '90s, and early 2000s. And then I stopped collecting. And a good buddy of mine, Matt, we used to trade cards with each other left and right, back and forth. I'm kind of curious though, Matt. Shout out to you, man. Do you still have some of the cards that we traded, bro? Because like I gotta know. I need to know this. If you're watching, appreciate you. But I miss you dearly, man. I know I moved to Texas, but hopefully we can re-hook up, and you can let me know if you still got some of those cards we traded for back in the day. It's a lot of fun. I'll have to bring it out, man. I got like a storage trunk full of baseball cards. I got all sets and all sorts of baseball memorabilia. I'm a big baseball nerd.
Yeah, I think especially for how much you love baseball, I think that'd be kind of something different. I'm not really attached to Pokemon too much. I mean, I had it when I was a kid. But the second I get a Charizard, done. Game over. I'm done. Just keeping that Charizard. But I would definitely, if someone told me, yo, Brett, they've got, maybe hockey, I'm not sure. But if they told me, Brett, they've got a Persona 5 trading card game, I'd be like, there goes all my savings. I'd buy every single card in that Persona 5 collection. But no, that's just,
that's funny.
I don't know. It's just something where it's like, you know, it's $3, you know, every other week. You know, if you really think about it, let's calculate it out. How many weeks are there in a year?
52.
Is there really?
Yeah.
So if you take 52 and divide it by 23, we're almost halfway through our first year of Just Digital. Just saying.
Yeah. We are.
But 53 divided by 3 or times 3, you're spending $80 a year for trading cards. I could buy, what, 1 or 2 days of crack for that? No. I don't know.
I'm torn between, is that going to get edited or are we just going to leave that roll?
We can leave it. I'm just saying, $80 at the end of the day is not that big of an investment for, you know, a year worth of us opening something, you know, because if Matt's opening one week and I open up another one a different week, I think that's just something a little different. Let us know what you think. Don't let us know if we should buy a crack instead. That is not something we'll be doing on this podcast. We do not condone that.
No,
we are a drug-free podcast for the most part. I can only speak on this half.
I love it, dude. That's great.
No, I don't know.
As I'm quietly stuffing the drugs into my drawer.
He's flushing them down the toilet. Oh gosh.
They're onto me, quick.
Have you ever seen that video where it's the magician where he's like, I can make those disappear. He's like, and the cop gives it to him. He's like, sure, and he flushes down the toilet. And he's like, what drugs? Or whatever it is. I gotta find the video for you. I probably butchered that, but I'll find it for you. It'll make a lot more sense. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have before I say anything else that is incriminating to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We hope you enjoyed this loose episode. Let us know if we should pay our writers more because they apparently make way better scripts than we do. Last minute. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us with the hashtag #DistToDigital on either our Twitter, or you can also follow us on Instagram and find us on other social medias. You can find us with the hashtag #DistToDigital, or just simply look us up.
Also, we're on Discord and Facebook as well, where we talk about all of our favorite gaming experiences, things you guys love as well.
Yep. Feel free to look for us there, and we hope to see you there as well. But anyways, from all of us here at DistToDigital, I'm Brett Clark.
And I'm Matt Keaton, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Yep, stay safe.